All right, everyone. Hey, great morning and welcome to another episode of Friday Fire, right? By your host. And today is March 11th. And I want to talk to you guys today about something that's very important, okay? And that is the importance of sharing your personal story, okay? Now, let me tell you why most people don't do it. And then I'm going to get into why you should do it, okay? I believe, and again, all these videos are all my personal opinion, uh, previous experience, right? That I've lived and things that I've done. And you guys know my whole deal here too. So anyways, let me tell you why most people don't do it. Most people don't do it because a couple of reasons. One is because they're not proud, right? They're not proud of their past. They don't like to share their past. Maybe they've done some things in the past that they don't want to talk about, right? And I get that because sometimes they're not good things, right? And so that's the reason, one reason why people don't share more about their personal story, because of the fact that they're not proud, and maybe they're not that person anymore and they don't want to talk about it because it might bring them bad memories. So I get that. Okay. The other reason why people don't like to talk about their personal story is maybe because they don't know how. Okay, they think, well, why should people care about my personal story or where I come from, right? Even though it's not bad, I don't think it's anybody's business. And there's people that think like that, right? And they don't know how to relate their personal story to others, so others can maybe learn a little bit more about them. Okay, so those are the two reasons why I believe most people don't talk or don't share a little bit more about their personal story. One, they're not proud. Two, they don't know how. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you how. Okay, why you should share your personal story. It's because we live in a world where people want to know more about you. If you look back on the history of reality TV, right, and why it exploded when it exploded, and why all these reality TV shows became so popular, when they first started, was because it was the first time the audience, right, us as the general population, quote unquote speaking, got a chance and an opportunity to see more about that person's life. Okay, the original reality TV story, right? And so they were showing how people lived, what they did, what they didn't do. And by human beings, we're all interested in that, right? We all want to learn. We all want to know more about that person, okay? And so when you do that today, now clearly reality TV show now has been so scripted and is all BS nowadays, and it's changed, right? But we live in a world through social media. Like, you may be watching this video today, or maybe you may follow somebody on any type of social media, avenue, right? And they're watching you, right? You're following them. They're watching you. They're seeing what you do. And when you share a little bit more about your personal story, that makes you more relatable to people. In our case, when we're in business, right? It makes people know that, man, we're just regular people. We're average people, just like they are, right? Maybe we started a little bit before them, and maybe we may have a little bit more success than them, right? But they get to see that we're humans just like they are. We like the same things. We like the same music. We like the same, food, right? And they get to see the things that you went through sometimes when you talk about your personal story, and the struggles that you went through, the good times and not so good times, right? And so I think when you share a little bit about your personal story, people are drawn onto you, right? People don't look at you like you're way up here, that they'll never be able to do what you do or see what you see or have what you have, because they can't relate. And I see that so many times with people that don't talk about their personal story, that they have other people look at them and say, man, I can never be like that. I can never be like that person. They never had any issues. They never had any problems, right? They never had any struggles. And that's not the case, but they see that because you're not talking about your personal story. You're not talking about what you went through, where you used to work, and the things that happen to you, that are real things that happen to everyone, but people can relate to you when you share that. So that's importance number one, right? On why to relate your personal story, because people got to see that you're just like them. We're just like you. We're just maybe in front of a camera and talking about it, and you're not, but we're just like you. We go through the exact same thing that you do, and that helps a lot of people, believe it or not. Now, how you do that, right? Now, you got to look at your personal story. And again, everybody's is different, right? But you got to say, okay, I got to take a quick, recap of a minute. Okay. It can't be no longer than that. Okay. A recap of 1 minute and kind of make it, build it into my presentation or build it into whenever I'm talking to somebody, right? And kind of tell them a little bit about me within 1 minute. You don't want to sit there like some people do and spend 3 hours talking about themselves. And it has to be inspiring. It can't be dragging. It can't be like a sob story, and it can't be like, oh, poor me syndrome. That's not what I'm talking about right here about your personal story, because you might be listening to this and they said, man, nobody wants to hear that. And you're right. Nobody wants to hear that. It's got to be something that you can say, man, this is what I did. This is what I used to do. I went through a little bit of, whatever this, but look, I plowed through it. I went through it, and here I am, or here's where I'm going, right? And so it's got to be within 1 minute, you guys. And it's got to be a story that's got to be compelling, where people may go, wow, that's pretty awesome, or wow, I didn't know that about you, right? And I know every time people share that stuff with me, like I get more interested about themselves, right? I get more interested about, how'd you get here? How'd you do that? How do you achieve this, right? How did you make that happen? What did you do when that happened, right? Like, I want to know. And I think a lot of people have that same questions. They just don't know how to ask, number one. And number two, you're not sharing it, so they don't know, right? Or you don't know how. So it's got to be a 1 minute story that you incorporate into your presentation, or when you're talking to somebody, when you meet somebody, if you're at a party, if you're at a meeting, if you're at a networking event, whatever the case may be. But you got to work on that. It's very important that you share your personal story. It's unique. No one else has it, right? In a sense that you lived it, no one else lived it, but it is relatable because there might be other people that might be going through the same thing that you might be able to help out, improve their quality of life, grow, or go through something that you might have gone through. And so that's the importance of sharing your personal story. So you guys, I hope that helped. I wanted to make this video short today. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I wanted to make a shorter version of this. Again, so if you have any questions or comment, you can leave them below. If this helped you, of course, if you watched it, just put a comment in there, share it with people that you know that might help. And anyways, I love you guys as always. Have a great weekend. It's a beautiful day today. Let's make it happen, you guys. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.